The Parliamentary Secretary for Regional Development.
Thank you, President. The WA Shipping and Supply Chain Taskforce was established last year in the wake of flooding events which effectively isolated Perth and most of the state from its sources of groceries and other freight. The taskforce was asked to consider how coastal shipping services could be utilised in future to reduce the impact of the recurrent floods and fire events, and also how supply chains could be made more resilient. As one of the co-chairs of the taskforce, along with Ms Jessica Stokowski, MLA member for Kingsley and previously Parliamentary Secretary to the former Minister for Ports, I recently submitted our report for consideration of government. The report has been released publicly and has been posted to the webpage, which was set up when the taskforce was initiated. Those companies and agencies which made submissions and attended forums have been sent a copy directly and invited to comment. The report focuses on support for national shipping regulatory reform and policy changes, which are primarily the responsibility of the federal government, and the states have minimal regulatory roles in the shipping space. There is very little Australian-owned shipping and very few Australians employed on commercial shipping serving the country. We would like to see this change for our national and WA's interests. Other themes of the report: support for training opportunities for West Australians on vessels serving Australia, even though vessels are foreign flagged and crewed. Support for supply chain resilience improvements, especially in remote WA regions such as the Kimberley. These could take the form of common user distribution centres to provide added protection against shortages arising from regular wet season events and cost savings for remote communities. Support for upgrades to the transnational railway line corridor in view of the floods in 2022, which highlighted our dependence on them. The report also recommends that the Department of Transport establishes a shipping and supply chain policy unit within its existing freight/ports policy area to propel the policy initiatives, especially with Canberra. I am pleased to report that this recommendation has already been accepted and is being progressed now. The federal government has also recently received a report from its Strategic Shipping Fleet Taskforce, which focused on announced policy for the acquisition or contracting of a fleet of up to 12 vessels to support the supply of essential goods and services for Australia during times of international unrest or climatic events. Our task is to ensure that we align our need for more substantial coastal trading capacity with the federal government's policy agenda. I would like to thank the member for Kingsley for her contribution to the report. I will stay involved in the taskforce to continue research and to work with our agencies and the Commonwealth. The Minister for Ports has asked Ms Davina Diana, member for the Kimberley, to join me as the joint public face for the future activities of the taskforce.